Your Political Week in Review, broadcasting live on the Really American Media platform. It's been another wild boar of a week. Oink, oink. The political dumpster's ablaze, but let's put out this shit show and reload your brain with the facts you actually need. All right, you little bastards. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Come on, you feline. Start scratching the post. Holy moly. Take it away, gentlemen.
If I have to, I shall. And welcome one, welcome all to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve right on time. I'm dubbing this Fatigue February.
Petite February?
Fatigue.
Oh, Fatigue February. Yeah, it's been a long week. Nick and I are both in shitty moods, so welcome to the fun, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick. Nick and I used to be in radio. We met at a good time oldie station in Seattle. So, Nick, who sang Calendar Girl? Happy birthday, Sweet 16. Breaking up is hard to do.
Neil Sedaka, dude. Come on.
Yes, Neil Sedaka just died.
Oh, dude. Now you're going to bum me out even further?
He made it to 86, but yeah, Neil Sedaka, dead at 86.
I don't think
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that, Neil Sedaka did terribly cheesy music. You know, it was all really cheesy stuff, but
Yes.
that guy could really fucking tickle the ivory. I mean, he was a hell of a piano player, and into his later life, I enjoyed actually watching him do some stuff, but yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, he's dead now, so that chance is over.
All right. I'll never see him live.
If you go to his funeral, you can see him dead, though. So there's that.
Yes. Lots going on. Fatigue February. Everyone's feeling the drain. No matter where I go, I'm talking to people, and they're just like, God, I just feel drained. And I thought, oh, yeah, well, we had Christmas, then we had New Year's, then, some of us wore ourselves out sexually on Valentine's Day, and, now here we are. And politics during all that time span, I mean, it's really worn us down, Stephen.
Yeah, no, it definitely has. So, yeah, welcome to the fun. February's almost over, though, so I think that's the good news. March is a full, long month. Heading into spring, kind of, sort of, so that's
true.
all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back. Week in review. If you want to email Nick and I, which a lot of you have been doing, you can go to thevocalminority.net. You can email us directly there. In recent days, as shitty as I have felt, we have heard from old radio fans from like the early 2000s reaching out from Seattle, from Wichita, Kansas. And that is helpful,
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's interesting. So, it's nice to hear from people, old and new. Are you climbing onto the chat board now as we do the program live? We love your feedback as we do the show. Any questions, you can type them there. And, this won't all be depressing news. I've got some funny shit, too.
Yeah, blue-eyed here. Blue-eyed sniper. What kind of depressing news I should know about? Is there any non-depressing news, really? People always say, why don't they cover happy news? I don't think happy things are news, generally.
Well, you've seen the monkey. Have you seen the monkey at the Japanese zoo that was,
Depressing as hell, yes.
But he's been accepted now, dude. I mean, that's happy, right? He's carrying around his orangutan, and everyone was like, oh, that's cute with stuffed animal. But now Punch is his name. He's been accepted and hugged on by older monkeys.
I bet he was a mega monkey, and then he denounced Trump, and the rest of the monkeys were finally like, thank God you woke up already. Now you can join the crew. Fucking Trump-loving monkey.
Jeez, dude. Yes. Well, okay, should we get into a little bit of this depressing news or not depressing news? You'll have to stick around to find out.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Get over here, Nick.
I'm roaring to go.
He's dead, too. Not the get over here, Nick guy. Not yet, anyways.
No.
Paul Harvey's dead.
Yeah.
I hate to break that news to everyone as well.
No.
Hey, Nick.
Hi.
Okay. All right. So which level of chaos do we start with? We've got Hegseth idiocy and Ice Barbie, Kristi Noem idiocy. Where should we start?
Why don't we start with, let's just start with, ICE. Let's just start with what's been going on. Because ICE has kind of fallen out of the news a bit, I mean, it led and held the news cycle for a long time. And
yes. Speaking of ICE, I'm pissed off at Vanilla Ice. Can I just say that real quick?
Well, he's a Trump lover. Why?
Well, he's a Florida guy, and Vanilla Ice was such a joke when he was a musician, quote unquote. And then I started watching his renovation show, and I was actually like, he's into dirt bikes. He seems to swing a hammer. Like maybe he's a down to earth kind of guy because I ride dirt bikes and I like, working with my hands. But of late, I just saw a quote from him the other day where someone asked him, "Are you upset that Ice Ice Baby is now associated with ICE?" Customs immigration. And his quote was something like, "Hey, anything that gets my music relevant again." Like, you know what? Fuck you. And I believe he played, was it New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago or something? Like,
Yeah.
goddamn Rink Van Winkle. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want construction's hard work, dude. He wants to just start making money off music again.
I
So,
guess.
sure, but
The only good part about that is the more money he makes for Ice Ice Baby, the more money Brian May from Queen makes from Ice Ice Baby, since he actually wrote the riff. So
right.
he
Okay.
does owe them money every time that song gets, anything. So
You're always giving us the upside, Steve, and we thank you for that.
Steve.
Steve.
There's some good news. It's good for Queen, at least, who has denounced Trump repeatedly. So
Well, how does it sound to, or how does it feel to know that ICE has needlessly murdered another innocent man?
yeah, as Willie here said, you heard the blind man that they killed? I believe that's what we're going to talk about, Willie. Yes.
That is what we're going to talk about. And I got on this story this morning and had some conflicting views on this story. And it was uncomfortable for me because, I want to just go in on what I know is right, but I got to sometimes dissect the story a little bit and say, just to make sure. Okay.
So you're pro blind guy getting killed? Is that what you're saying?
Not all the time. No, not all the
If he
time.
had it coming? Like what?
We'll see, dude. So I went back I wanted to start at the origin story, as we always do. You're a big superhero guy. Let's start at the origin story and see how this all started.
It's usually a tragedy.
Yeah, you're right. I want to pronounce this guy's name properly, and I probably won't do that.
Yeah.
Nurul Amin Shalom.
I have no idea what the correct pronunciation is. So
All right. Well,
I'm
this
going to
is
say you're correct because you're on the podcast. You're the podcast guy. You must know.
I'm the podcast guy. Okay, so 56 years old, refugee from Myanmar.
Myanmar. I know that one at least.
Say it.
Myanmar.
Myanmar, nearly blind, functionally illiterate, and with little or no English in his arsenal. Okay?
Yeah.
Came over here, fled persecution, arrived in Buffalo about a year before his arrest. And now you're wondering, why was he arrested?
I was wondering that.
He was just trying to live quietly in a new country. That night, the night he was arrested, he was walking with a curtain rod he had just bought that afternoon, using it as a makeshift blind man's cane,
Sure.
to kind of feel along his way. And I've got the body cam footage for when the police showed up. There was a report that he was on private property. Police show up, okay?
Okay.
We'll go into the body cam footage, and we'll talk afterwards.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Hey! What are you doing? Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Put it down! Put it down! You're gonna get tased! Put it down! Put it down! Put it down! Down!
Don't point
On
stuff at the
ground.
cops.
Put it in the snow! In the snow! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! I'm gonna tell you one more time! I'm gonna tell you one more time!
I mean, they don't know the
I'm
guy's
gonna tell you one more
blind.
time! I'm gonna shoot you, dude. Put it down. Put it down. Delta 280 radio, give me more cars.
Okay, tase the guy.
Put it down.
Taser proof? No.
I don't think they got through his coat very well.
Okay.
Fucking ground. Get on the fucking ground. Get on the fucking ground.
Is this where you're conflicted because he's not really responding?
Well, yes and no. Listen.
You fucking asshole. Ah, I fucking fight you.
Okay, so he bit the officer, right?
Yeah.
And then another officer jumped on. He bit her too. And so, yeah, immediately, I'm just kind of conflicted of just like, oh, he's fighting with him and stuff. And then I start to imagine like, okay, so you're nearly blind, almost 100% blind. You can't understand the language around you. He can't read. and you're surrounded by people. You can't even really see what they're doing, because he's that blind. But he knows they're shouting at him. Then they tase him. Then they go hands on. And I'm thinking, like,
and he doesn't speak English either, right?
No,
it's hard to understand.
Very, very, very little English in his pocket.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you saw him moving forward there, and he was like, sorry, kept saying sorry. And, I don't know, dude. I just know that we all have a thing called fight or flight. And if I don't know what's attacking me and I'm suddenly being attacked, because he was doing nothing wrong, the guy was sort of lost. Again, he's blind, right?
Yeah. Listen, I watch a ton of police body cam videos, and that's not a joke. I might be an expert on the topic. So, listen, he's not handling it correctly, quote unquote, in an ideal situation. But, okay, so whatever. They tase him. They take him to the ground. They're going to cuff him, arrest him. Like, this is just the start of the story. This is not where it all goes wrong.
Right. So from that moment, I was just like, oh, then he's biting him and stuff. But then once I realized, like, oh, this guy's blind, dude, and how scary that must be to be thinking you're doing nothing wrong. You're lost. You don't know where you are, and you're trying to respond properly. It's all easy for us to respond from our living rooms, right, of how you would do it. So
yeah. Nothing overly egregious, though. I mean, he didn't take a weapon out on them, nor did they start beating the shit out of him. So this is not ideal, but whatever. This is just the start of the story. This is not where the egregious things happen, really.
Well, they put him in jail, and he was in jail for a year for this.
Okay,
that's fucking egregious, right?
Well, I don't know that that's warranted to be in jail that long. I mean, how did this guy not have any sort of legal representation or a day in court or whatever else? But okay, let's just say that he did or whatever. The bad part of the story starts when he gets released, right?
Well, kind of. Okay, so the police and prosecutors framed this as an assault on an officer, trespassing, and weapon possession. They gave him for holding that curtain rod. Good. Which, come on, dude. They emphasize
that's weak, but okay.
Yeah, they emphasize that the rod moving towards the officer, and then I guess they also did teeth on flesh, which is warrantable,
Yeah, cool.
But so they put him in jail for a year, and you might wonder, for such a tiny crime in the grand scheme of things, like, why wasn't he bailed out? Because he does have a wife and 2 kids. They were gonna bail him out, but if they did it, they were afraid that they would just immediately turn them over to ICE and he would be deported immediately. So he did have some kind of legal representation saying, you don't want to take him out right now. So they finally came with a plea deal and said, okay, we'll download this to a misdemeanor. And then they released him, okay? And now, as soon as they did, ICE steps in, and they want to take a look at the guy. And which is a little confusing because he was there for a year. You didn't take a look before they released him? That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
So they realized...
It's weird that he was held for a year, too, before a plea deal or whatever was struck. Like, all of that's weird, but okay. This is still not the egregious part of the story, though, right?
No. So they release him, ICE grabs him, and then they realize, oh, he's not deportable. So they need to release him, back out into civilization. And
do we know how long ICE held him? Because normally they hold people way too freaking long.
From what I gathered, it was not that long. I mean, like a few hours type holding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But either way, ICE took possession of the guy, and he was in their custody for that window, right?
Yes.
And I will tell you from all the body cam stuff I watched, like, when you're in their custody, you are their responsibility. Your safety is their responsibility. Yes. That's why they can't rough you up. They can't put you in a bad situation. They have to make sure you're accommodated. They have to offer emergency medical response, all that kind of stuff if is needed. A lot of people always say, like, get your hands off me. Get your hands, when you're in cuffs. And it's like, no, you're in their possession now. So they do need to make sure you're going where you're supposed to go. You're not going to trip and fall, like all that stuff. So
officer safety, they got to have all that shit, right?
Well, officer safety, but yours too. You're in their possession. So,
totally.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so after release, Border Patrol picked him up and later dropped him off at a Tim Hortons several miles from his home at night with no phone. This is in fucking Buffalo in February.
Okay, right. This is where it all goes off the rails.
Yes.
Why would they drive him anywhere? Why would normally somebody comes and picks you up from custody? And if they're going to drive you somewhere, it should be to your home.
Yeah, so initially the wife and 2 kids were expected to pick him up when he was released, but as soon as he was released, ICE picked him up. Like as soon as he walks out, they grab him, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So they, question him or do whatever they're going to do with him, and then they decide as a courtesy to drop him off in a warm, safe place. Okay, let's not forget this guy's blind. He doesn't speak English. They've just spent a few minutes questioning him, so they're aware of all these things.
Right.
Even if they didn't read the intake of when he went into jail, initially. But they
I was going to say, dropping a normal, healthy human off at a Tim Hortons at night is not even normal.
No, he didn't
Let
have a
alone
phone.
a blind guy.
Yeah, he didn't have a phone. It's Buffalo, it's 8 o'clock. I think it was after 8 o'clock at night, so it was dark outside.
February.
Tim Hortons was closed, so dropping him off at a warm, safe place is completely out the window.
I don't think Tim Hortons are safe, period. Even if it's open, I would not go in that place.
A lot of trans fat, Steve.
Right, but okay. Yeah. Why the fuck a Tim Hortons at night in February in Buffalo would be considered the drop-off spot? Right there is where all of the flawed logic starts. So, okay.
There's a bunch of conflicting reports that the ICE agents has said, that's where he said he wanted to be dropped off. He used to live around there. None of it made sense, okay? It was 5 miles from his house. So they drop him off, and there is footage of them dropping him off. It's not worthy of playing on the show because I can just tell you that they pull up in a white van, let him out. He starts walking down the sidewalk, and you see the van pull away. I mean, they didn't make sure he was okay or...
And by the way, this is not the first time we've heard about ICE doing this. I don't know why this is their operating procedure, but they drop people off. And there's been multiple stories of people being dropped off in the middle of nowhere without their cell phone or their wallet or any of their possessions. Like
there was a guy in Minneapolis that was, they took him in just his underwear and they dropped him off back in the cold in just underwear. Didn't clothe him or try and even get him to a Tim Hortons. I'm sure he would have appreciated Tim Hortons.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, he is your responsibility at this point. You don't drop him off at a closed business at 8 o'clock at night in freezing temperatures. And yes, the guy's blind and doesn't speak English very well. Like, what are you hoping he was going to do?
They didn't even, once ICE was done with him, they didn't reach out to his family and said, everything's good, we're done, you can come and pick him up, we're going to drop him at Tim Hortons or what,
Right, or we'll wait here until you come and pick him up or something. Like, come on.
All of this was crazy, and on that footage, they spent no time making sure he was okay. So days
they don't
later...
give a fuck. I mean, I know we're beating around the bush here, but isn't that the actual answer?
Yes.
They don't give a flying fuck about any of these people in their possession.
Of course, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're annoyed, because to them, right, what we've learned is this is all a capture fee. You know what I mean? And I don't say that lightly. Like, the more people that they can go grab and actually put in detainment, the better for them, the better for their pocketbook. So this was a waste of time, dude.
Yeah.
So a couple days later, he was found about 2 miles from where they dropped him off, dead. And the medical examiner has not come out with an official cause of death yet, but come on.
Hypothermia, dehydration, something, right?
Yeah, cold.
He just died of old age, after they dropped him off. Like,
and let's face it, I mean, even if he was murdered, right, by somebody shot, like, it's still your responsibility. You dropped him off in that town with nothing and no way to get anywhere. Like, you guys
absolutely
will be judged at some point, I hope.
And I don't know if Willie here, I haven't fact checked this, but he says he didn't even have shoes on, which I would not be surprised by. Like I said, ICE has been dropping people off in the middle of nowhere with little to no clothing, like you were just talking about. So,
yeah.
So, okay, so the guy made it 2 miles, blind, can't speak English, at night, freezing temperatures. Shockingly, he's dead.
Yeah. And, let's not forget that he was just in jail for a year, didn't speak English. There is some PTSD from people that are released from institutions like that.
Sure.
So this guy was not in a good mindset of any sort. This was bound to happen, you assholes. You did this. And I would assume, if you thought about it even for a second, you would know, like, oh, there's a good chance this dude won't make it. We should probably help him.
Right. Especially if you detain him for a few hours only and you're like, oh, wait, we have no case here. You should probably be extra careful to make sure he gets somewhere safe. It's not as if he was some of the worst of the worst and he got out on some technicality and you want to stick it to him by dropping him off in some desolate area or whatever. But yeah. And as Bombi here says, welcome back, Bombi, no accountability.
Yes.
We always talk on this show about illegal shit that ICE is doing. Why is nobody arrested? Why is nobody prosecuted? And I know the answer. Most of these things are federal crimes, and there is no accountability at the federal level. You think Pam Bondi is going to prosecute anybody tied to ICE?
No, of course not, dude. We saw Ryan Schwenk, a former ICE attorney and training instructor who resigned on the 13th of this month, sit in front of Congress and testify about his time spent and why he resigned from ICE. And some of it is just fucking startling, dude. You look at a guy like this and you think, oh, you know what? We may have some differences, but this is where we can agree. You still have take your oath seriously, your oath to the Constitution, your oath of operating a department in the government properly wrapped around the Constitution. He resigned and said some crazy shit. I'll just play you a little bit of what he said.
Yeah, please do.
On my first day, I received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority.
All the important shit.
I was going to say, all of the most important shit for that job, and everything that we just outlined went wrong in that one case, not to mention just thousands of others.
Yes.
Oh, my God. And the fucking Republican Don't Tread on Me party, letting them violate constitutional rights and just basic humanity. This whole no judicial warrant to enter homes. I mean, if you're a MAGA type and that does not outrage you, you are a just bald-faced hypocrite.
100%. The Constitution, look, there's some things that happen within the Constitution that frustrate me, that I don't necessarily agree with, but I take them because it's the law of our land at this current time, so that's how we have to operate. These maggots don't feel that way. They can pick and choose. It's just like religion for them. They can pick and choose what they like to live their life by without, holding fast to anything.
Yeah. It's beyond disturbing. And I know we're preaching to the choir with our audience here, but where is the accountability? I know Democrats are not in control, but there's no state prosecutions, nothing that can happen for the multiple people that have essentially been murdered, or if you want to be generous, like manslaughter at the hand of ICE.
Yeah. Well, and if you think, things have tempered with ICE. I mean, I'll show you a couple more things that happened within this, last week and a half period here. Sure. Here's another one of, look, here's an old guy. I'll play the video and we can talk about it.
Why don't you do something constructive? No. Let him go. Let the guy go. We'll take care of the head. You can go.
What are you detaining him for?
Do not tell me what to do, asshole. I don't know where you're from. I want to see a badge. Let's see a badge. Okay?
What are you detaining
now
him
let's
for?
see an ID.
What are you detaining him for? You can't arrest anybody. You can't take
I
it.
want an ID from you guys.
You're not law enforcement.
Do
They
something
all
be good to me. Why don't you do something good and be a citizen? human being.
Where's your identification?
Yo,
Show us your
you
identification.
don't know if he's fine, bro. No,
Show
he's
us your
not.
identification.
It shouldn't be that close. That's the problem here.
Damn it.
Jeez. You know,
This is an old man. How dare you?
yeah, it's an old man, and obviously there are some things he did wrong in that video. But the truth of the matter is he didn't need to be slammed to the pavement like that. I have a near 80-year-old mother. I constantly worry about her just falling in the house, you know, because things happen. You break hips, you die. Like, that's crazy that they didn't just go over and kind of hold him back a little bit. The guy wasn't
for sure.
struggling on the ground. Like, come on.
The normal, and again, because I watch way too many body cams, there's two officers there. If they've got the guy face down on the ground, the other officer should have stood up and, started to push the guy back. Give us 25 feet, back up. You don't just immediately pepper spray someone. And then once you pepper spray them, you don't body slam them to the ground because obviously they're disoriented. It's not like he was waving a weapon around. It's not like, he was obviously an old guy. Like, I know the letter of the law may allow some degree of that, but
Yeah. Well, this is what we were just talking about, dude. This is important in your fucking training, dude, to learn how to de-escalate things and to know how to operate. So
exactly. No. De-escalation is supposed to be the first step, not the last one or the one they forget about most commonly.
yeah, this was an interesting call to 911. I'm going to play you now. This happened in Portland, Oregon, from an ICE officer calling 911. This shocked me as well.
Great.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Northeast Crowley and Prescott.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
Some kid is punching my window. I need assistance right now. Nice.
Okay.
He's following me.
Are you stopped?
No, not anymore. Prescott and Prescott and Northeast 62nd.
What do you need help for then?
Okay, and is he following you in a vehicle or on foot?
Bike. And the motorized bike. He broke my window or my mirror.
Okay, and when you say kid, about how old is he?
He's, I don't know, about 20 years old.
Okay, why is he punching your car?
Well, I work for ICE, I guess. I need someone here now, or else I'm going to have to shoot this kid.
Well,
That's not an appropriate response.
No, I got to have someone here now or I'm going to shoot this kid.
Okay, why is this guy alone? Why can he not outdrive somebody on an e-bike? Why would shooting him be an appropriate response?
Yeah.
Again, just lack of training, lack of empathy, lack of just common fucking sense.
Yeah, 100%. And that's all what, this guy that I played for you, Ryan, was just talking about. Like, this is why I resigned, because there is no training. We're being told to, do illegal shit, and I don't want to be a part of it. But these guys all signed up for that bonus. They signed up to feel like tough guys and cosplay a little bit. So
why is he calling 911? Doesn't he have some sort of ICE dispatch or
it's sort of ironic, don't you think?
Well, right. I mean, what in the fuck kind of Keystone Cop, bullshit is going on out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really hard. And then you think to yourself, oh, okay, well, you have a leader like Kristi Noem leading these people. Maybe she's not spending any time with them, but she's putting all the words in for what these people need to do. And I know Tom Holman is doing some of that as well, but it starts at the top. They always say that, right? We saw this video take place from Kristi Noem just a little earlier, and this explains a lot for us, dude.
We are going after murderers and rapists and traffickers and drug dealers and getting them off the streets and getting them out of this country because Joe Biden let the worst of the worst come in here. The other day I was talking to some marshals that have been partnering with ICE. They said that they had detained a cannibal and put him on a plane to take him home, and while they had him in his seat, he started to eat himself. And they had to get him off and get him medical attention. These are the kind of deranged individuals that are on our streets in America that we're trying to target and get out of our country because they are so deranged they don't belong here.
Yeah.
There's so much projecting going on there. First of all, she talks about going after murderers and rapists, and you see Trump kind of get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Gonna
right.
come after me. And she's talking about deranged individuals. Okay,
Right.
so what's the fact check on that little story?
No kidding, dude. And to talk about a cannibal that eats himself, like even Trump was like, "What?" I mean, this is reminiscent of when Trump was like, "They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats." Of like, you're saying shit that just can't be verified and isn't true.
I'm not sure that it's cannibalism if you're eating yourself. That's some sort of self-harm or self-cutting. Or whatever.
Yes.
But you know the follow-up on this, right?
No.
The story's 100% false.
Mm-hmm.
She made it up.
Yes.
There's nothing, no shred of evidence to back that story up at all.
They
I don't
asked
even
all
know that
these marshals.
Yes.
They were like, "No, nothing like that. I mean, we've never had a cannibal on here eating himself." Like, yes, it's a lie. It's a complete lie. So.
I don't know if this is something that someone told her was happening or if she just on the spot completely made it up. But either way, you don't announce something like that without some level of evidence, credibility behind that. She's too busy banging Lewandowski in the back of her luxury jet. Speaking of eating people, maybe that's what she overheard.
Yes. And
He's
the question
back there eating
is,
her. What? People are being eaten? What?
right?
Oh my God.
She misheard.
They're eating her on the plane. What? People are, yes. That would make more sense.
That would make a lot more sense. You're right. When you say you don't say this and not verify it, that's not true. You do. Because, like we always say, you say shit and then it's out into the ether, and the people that are going to believe it, and the people that don't.
I think Gabrielle's saying here, did you expect this story to be true? I mean, no, but when a government official sits there in front of a press corps and says something like that, on one level, yes, I expect it to be true, or at least there be a shred of credibility. Even if the guy was a cannibal, but the whole eating himself part was like, there's no truth to it at all.
Yes. Yes.
As Naomi says, don't try to make it make sense, Steve. You're right. You're right. I don't know why I do.
Was it a former band member of Fine Young Cannibals, dude? I mean, where were we on this? This is crazy.
Oh, it is crazy. It is a circus of leadership. You're right, Bombi. Oh, my God.
That's right. The dumpster fire that we call the Trump cabinet. So,
fucking sane.
So,
I
yeah.
feel like my ICE story just pales in comparison to everything you just trotted out there. So
What do you got?
Well, just this bullshit arrest that happened yesterday, or detainment. I don't even know what it was, but the ICE agents at Columbia College that lied their way into student housing to arrest this woman.
Right.
As you and I were discussing earlier, I know that cops can lie in an interrogation.
Yeah.
Because they can try to trick you into admitting something. And the Supreme Court has apparently said cops are allowed to lie in an investigation. I don't think they're allowed to lie to enter your residence. In fact, I fucking know they're not. This goes back to the judicial warrant. That's why warrants are needed to enter a place you live. So a third party, an independent judge, can look at the evidence and decide if it's okay to breach the sanctimony of your house. Like,
yeah, your safe spot. Your one safe spot, right?
So these assholes straight up showed up, and they came planned. They had a picture of this child and told everyone, like, we're looking for a missing child, this woman here, or this kid here. And they lied their way into this woman's apartment. And, they detained her, arrested her, whatever you want to call it, for the day. And they told, the agents gained entry to the building by stating, quote, they were police searching for a missing child. Security camera footage showed the officers showing pictures of the allegedly missing child. That's how they gained entry. Once inside the apartment, it became clear they had misrepresented themselves. A public safety officer arrived, asked multiple times for a warrant, which was not produced, and asked them to call the boss, and they didn't do that either. And then the agents just took the student.
Is this true, dude, that Mamdani went to the White House and asked Trump to release her, and he did?
Yes. Now, Mamdani was already going there for another issue, and then this came up. But Mamdani, who Trump just fucking loves because the guy's popular, I guess, he apparently put it in Trump's ear that this wasn't cool, and he got in there on false pretenses. And is this what it takes, though? The mayor to go to the White House directly to Trump and explain the insanity?
Yeah, because if he didn't, she'd still be there. It's all arrest now. You can ask questions later, but it might take some time, and it may never happen. People just end up missing.
Or they drop her off at a fucking Tim Hortons in the middle of the night with no shoes on.
100%. Yeah.
Wow. Again, this is something that the Republican Party should be fucking outraged over. Lying your way into somebody's house, into their apartment. I mean, it is not okay. And again, the worst of the worst. Apparently, her student visa had expired. That's the major offense here.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. And this is from, this is the Law and Order Administration. I struggle to say it even, but, this is the people that have told us for our whole lives when we were kids. You remember, you can trust a police officer if you find one. You start letting officers or ICE detain people this way, lying to get into somebody's house and be tricked into finding somebody. And trust right out the window.
Absolutely.
In 27 minutes, she was released. Wow.
After Mondami talked to Trump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Trump really does love the look of that bate, Mondami. Yeah, he does. I mean, something's got him weak in the knees over that guy.
Yes.
So, ICE is still, a menace to society, to put it lightly.
Yeah. You got any more ICE news, or can we switch over to Pete Hegseth?
Yeah, let's switch over to the guy who can bench 350 pounds.
Yes, with fake weights, allegedly. This has happened now twice within a month, where the Department of Defense has shot down an object over El Paso, Texas, which is near a, apparently cartel hotspot near the border with Mexico. And, a few weeks ago this happened. They used this high-tech laser weapon because I think Trump has told everyone, I want to use all of the coolest high-tech toys we have.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's multiple ways to shoot down an object. But so a few weeks ago, they shot down what they said was a drone being sent from the Mexican cartel into America. And it turned out to be a party balloon.
Yeah, just a birthday party
let his balloon go. It floated up in the sky, and our government shut down the airspace over El Paso, Texas, so they could blow it out of the sky. How do we have a high-tech laser, but not some sort of radar, some sort of visual confirmation of what the object is?
Not a clue, dude. I don't think they look into it that far,
Apparently not. So I don't know if this is better or worse, but last night they used the laser and they shot down a drone. It was an actual drone, Nick, that they shot out of the sky.
Okay. Well, they got one.
They did. The problem is it was our drone. They shot down our own fucking drone. I mean, talk about one hand not talking to the other or whatever. Are you fucking kidding me? We shot down our own drone with a high-tech laser weapon and yet again shut down the airspace over poor El Paso, Texas.
It's unbelievable, dude. Pete Hegseth from Fox News to, heading the Department of War, Steve.
Department of Defense, but yes.
Yeah, right. You're still refusing.
Yeah, well, it's illegal to just rename it, so they need an act of Congress to do that. So Reps Rick Larson, Benny Thompson, and Andre Carson, Democrats on the House Transportation Homeland Security Committee, says, quote, our heads are exploding over this news that we shot down one of our own drones.
Is that a gentle pun intended?
And this was apparently a Border Patrol drone. So, it was there patrolling the fucking border. They're at the border. They never thought for a second, hey, can somebody confirm this is not one of our border drones before we use a laser to shoot it out of the sky?
So Austin Powers, dude. Listen, what if it was a guy that was like, I know that's our drone. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that monitoring this airspace. Let's take it down.
I don't even know what to do with this anymore. I played a clip this week on one of my videos from Conan O'Brien, and he was saying that he doesn't think Trump is funny anymore. Can't make fun of him anymore. And his reasoning was, there's no joke I could make that would be more absurd than the real things happening. I can't do a Trump impression and say some crazy thing because whatever the real headline is would be more crazy than that.
A lot of
stories
truth to
like
that.
this. Yeah, that I understand his sentiment. I don't agree. Trump is funny. There are certainly jokes to be made, and that was the point of my video. But he's not entirely wrong. That this is the reality we're living in. That we're shooting down our own drones with high-tech lasers. And do you think there's going to be any accountability? Somebody's going to be demoted or fired or anything else?
No, dude. I mean, remember when Pete Hegseth just went on that Signal chat and just started announcing war plans that everyone could see? Like, nothing happened then. Nothing's definitely going to happen now. That's all taxpayer money. This is all them jacking around with our taxpayer money, acting like they're saving the taxes from the American people. They're lowering everything. Meanwhile, you got people shooting down our own equipment out of the sky. You got Kash Patel being flown around to protect the Olympics. Meanwhile, he's in the locker room chugging beer and look, this is a joke, dude. Every time I see people talking outside of our country, they shake their head and they are so fucking like, what is going on over there? It's so embarrassing. The protest art continues like other countries. I cannot imagine for the life of me that Trump says we're the hottest country. Everyone respects us. Like, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Well, as always, he's just trying to say what he wants to, reality to be. But no, we are a laughing stock of the fucking world. And what do you think about that Olympics debacle? Kash Patel showing up there.
Oh, I think it's fucking crazy, dude. That first of all, that he would be in there. First of all, you know what? If those guys, they say that, hey, the boys invited my friends and boys invited me, and even if that were the case, be like, hey guys, I'm the leader of the FBI. I can't do that, but thank you so much for the invite. I'm just here to watch.
Or you would go back and say, hey, just on behalf of USA, congrats, guys.
Sure.
You're a well-earned medal, and then you get the hell out of it. I mean, chugging beers and yelling and screaming, and putting the medal on.
Yes.
And now his fucking way too hot for him girlfriend has come out and said the reason she was there, she was providing security for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's really unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And every day I wake up, I think, no, dude, this is not reality. This is all, I'm waiting for someone to jump out and say, just kidding.
Right. And I don't like that I'm pissed off at our men's hockey team. Because I blame Kash Patel for all of that, too. He's the one during the beer chugging slam fest that he got Trump on the phone, and Trump made that fucking asinine, misogynistic, woman-hating joke of, I'm going to have to invite the women, too, otherwise I'm going to get impeached. Like, go fuck yourself. The women's hockey team is badass. They have been in existence less than the men and have now equaled their medal counts. Like, you can make the case they're actually the stronger team.
Yeah.
But either way, like, why are you making a joke at the expense of another American athlete? And it's not like any of them had denounced Trump, like he, called the Hess guy a big loser and un-American and all that. But the whole fucking thing, and for the team to be laughing, and then they go to the State of the Union and they're eating McDonald's. Now, I know 4 or 5 of them did not go to the State of the Union, and good on you, but why? Why do you have to make us hate on our own fucking team? And even some of them were like, why is everything political? Well, you're the fucking idiots that invited them back and then went to the White House. Like,
yeah, you made it political. Like, it's crazy. What I read was the only people that didn't show were from Minneapolis.
Oh, well, get on.
And that makes sense. I mean, you hear that one guy in that video when he says, we're going to have to invite the women's team. He's like, absolutely. I'll give that guy a pass. But the rest of those jackasses, look, I understand being a young man and getting caught up in excitement and everything else. But, you really need to take a good look in the mirror and see when you have such a platform and can have so much impact on your country and the people that live here, you got to know how to act, dude. I don't give you a complete pass. I don't.
Yes, absolutely. Naomi here, as a female, I was offended. Well, as a human, I was offended. forward.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
And, there's a funny debate that Kennedy, my girlfriend, and I occasionally get into about female sports and if they deserve the same level of ticket sales and recognition and all that. And we had gotten in an argument, and I hope she's not going to listen to the show, about the NBA versus the WNBA. And I had made a point that, in fairness, the NBA is more exciting than the WNBA. It's a higher level of action. Like, the guys can slam dunk a basketball. Like, that's the end of that debate.
Oh, she
When
just
women have-
texted me, dude. She wants you to stop talking.
I'm sure she does, but I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. My point is, and this is going to circle around to a very pro-woman, like, equal thing. When it comes to hockey, they're equal. The level of excitement is equal. And I know this for a fucking fact because I sat in an airport last Friday watching the women's hockey finals, and I thought it was the men. The entire game, because it was far away. It was on the other side of an airport, but I'm watching it. It's like, man, the men are kicking ass here. It was the women the entire time. I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. No, hell of a team, dude. And yeah, it's just crazy that I hate the way that whole thing went down. I did think it was funny. Donna Barry says, "Oh yeah, they fed him McDonald's." I thought it was funny, dude. That Stanley Tucci said, "Here's a fine meal, dude. You guys sit down and eat some really nice food."
What is with the fuck? I know he loves McDonald's, but I would be embarrassed if I brought any guest to my home, let alone gold medal winning Olympians. And serve them Can't you at least serve them Wendy's? I mean, come on.
Come on. Yeah, some real beef. Come on. Do it right.
We are such an embarrassment.
Yeah. What a mess, dude. All right. Well, we've got other things to get into here, Steve. Let's see where we want to go here. Let's do something a little lighter as we approach, getting ready for our midterms, and think, it's just going to be a big blue wave. We have nothing to worry about. Please watch this video.
ABC News has now learned President Trump has reviewed a draft executive order that would involve him declaring a national emergency, potentially giving him sweeping power over voting in this country. So let's get right to Mary Bruce tonight. She's live at the White House. Mary, what have you learned?
Well, David, with the midterms now fast approaching and with Republicans holding those small majorities in Congress, tonight we have learned that President Trump has reviewed this draft executive order urging him to declare a national emergency that would give him broad power over voting. Sources say a group of pro-Trump attorneys are circulating a draft claiming without evidence that China interfered in the 2020 election, arguing that would justify declaring a national emergency that would then allow the president to mandate voter ID, hand-counted ballots, and ban mail-in ballots. Now, it is not clear if the president is going to accept this proposal, but we do know that he is considering executive action to impose stricter voting rules. But, David, the Constitution gives states, not the federal government, the power to run elections.
All right, Mary, you'll continue to watch us for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. How long have we been talking
Mary's
about
on
this? Mary's on it.
I was going to say, news that Nick and Steve have been preaching about for months now. Yes, he is trying to gin up any scenario where he can declare some sort of emergency, some sort of martial law, whether he's going to say China is interfering or Venezuela is going to blow up polling places in major cities. Like, yes, he is going to try to fuck with the elections. Guaranteed. The only thing we can do to stop it is to talk about it, to expose plans like this, so that when he attempts it, we can all say we saw this coming and no. And yes, it is up to states. Of course, it's in the Constitution.
Oh, yeah. If you like the Constitution, you should read it and realize, it's up to states. Now, what does this allow? Mandate voter ID nationwide, require voter ID for all voters in federal elections, enforced via federal agencies. Okay, here's a big deal with this. I mean, there's a lot of arguments to whether this is right or wrong, but the bottom line is it's unconstitutional. If you're going to require something that costs people money, that's going to be taxed to obtain an ID, it's unconstitutional. So change it if you want to, but it's not.
Yeah, I am so sick of this voter ID premise that you have to show an ID when you go to vote. And I had lived in California for 20 years, and that was always the punching bag of, well, in California, biggest state, tons of Democrats. You don't have to show an ID to vote. You have to show an ID to register to vote. You have to prove you're a citizen to register to vote. Why would you then need to show it again? That is like the bouncer. You show him your ID to get in the bar, and then the bartender asks for the ID. Like, I already showed it. That's how I got in here.
Yeah.
It's a flawed premise. And of course, there is not any sort of wide-scale voter fraud. But, you know, Trump is fucking with all of this stuff. And, you know, the postmark story, I feel like that got almost no attention. You even know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Because you're an informed person, and I appreciate that. But a couple of months ago, for those of you that don't know it, we changed the rules on how the post office postmarks things. They no longer have to postmark it when they get it out of the box. Like the day you go and drop it, normally they take it out, they postmark it, even if they haven't shipped it off yet. But now they're saying, well, when they process it, that's when it gets postmarked.
Yeah.
So does it take a day to process it? Does it take a week?
Or
Will there
more?
be shenanigans around election time? What about your tax returns? You know how many times I've dropped off my tax return on April 15th, 14th, whatever, you know, the day happens to be that year.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big freaking deal. Mortgage payments, like they did it to screw with mail-in voting because Trump, again, thinks that that's some, you know, fraud written thing.
Well, like Steve was just saying, when you register to vote, you show your ID. And a couple of years ago, my wife and I voted mail-in ballots like we always do. And she got a letter saying that her vote wasn't accepted and counted. And we were like, what the hell, dude? They said that her signature on her mail-in ballot did not line up with the ID signature that she used when she registered to vote. That's how, I mean, they can check on that shit. So when you register to vote and give an ID, it should be donezo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you should have a chance to, you know, verify that or whatever.
And they did give her a chance to verify it. But my point is just to show that, like, they have all the info. They have all the info and they're checking it. This can also force hand-counted ballots, ban electronic voting machines, require manual paper ballots counting everywhere, ban or severely limit mail-in voting, federal voter roll overhaul. This requires new or registration with citizenship proof. Intervene in state elections is a huge issue with all of this, as the DOJ and DHS oversee swing states, certifying results, and the ability to sue non-compliant officials. So there's a whole bunch of issues that is all in Project 2025, if you want to go. I mean, this is an open book test. This was all available for us long before he was president.
Yeah. The humorous thing to me, too, is quite frankly, like mail-in ballots disproportionately affects military serving overseas and also disproportionately affects elderly people that just mail their ballots in. Like they're screwing over Republicans, too. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just like the myth of the worst with ICE. Like he just wants you to say it so you think it's a real thing, but it obviously is not.
Yeah, exactly.
There's also women who have gotten, you know, divorced and changed their name, and they shouldn't have to go reprove again who they are and re-register. Like, it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing. But yeah, keep watching. Now, you know, I love that they're bringing this up using, the 2020 election was interfered. China interfered on this. So yeah, this is an emergency. We got to do this now.
Yeah, it's probably why Tulsi Gabbard was at that raid in Georgia.
Yes,
because she is, I forget her exact title, but you know, National Intelligence Director or whatever.
Traitor.
Yeah. Because they're going to try to claim, well, she was there because there's international forces, you know, trying to interfere with our elections.
Yep.
And, you know, this postmark thing, we brought up taxes, and I see a few people commenting about, like, yeah, they take your money on time, but, you know, how do you know if you're mailing it on time?
Right.
Are you aware the IRS was just determined, I think this just came out today, to have violated the law 42,695 times?
In what, 1 year?
Just recently. Not
Wow.
once, not twice. 42,695 times.
It's a big number.
A federal judge found that the IRS broke the law approximately 42,695 times by giving confidential information to ICE.
Let's just call it 40,000, dude. You know,
it's the IRS. They're exact.
Okay.
U.S. District Judge Colleen Kohler-Cotilles, I don't know. Yesterday, she ruled sharply that the IRS broke the law for disclosing confidential taxpayer addresses to ICE in situations where ICE's request for that information was patently deficient.
Wow.
And this is of 47,300 requests, 42,695 were patently deficient. IRS never should have given ICE your personal information, but they did. They broke the law. Someone going to jail for this?
No,
I'm getting
dude.
fired for this.
No one's held account. The Dow's at 50,000, Steve.
Oh, that's right.
Come on. Quit jacking around here.
God damn it.
Jeez.
Wake me up. This has got to be a glitch in the Matrix. This cannot be the world we're living in.
No, you wouldn't think so. I'm going to play you a video and tell me if you think this guy's going to go to jail for this, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
All right.
I assume no.
I have ordered a high-power ATL 36X arriving shortly, which I hope to actually use to shoot the President of the United States. I'm not kidding. This is
Mr. Arnold.
A very high, powerful item, and it's great for a headshot at a distance. And I didn't want it to be delivered by drone because I wouldn't want something like that to be in the wrong hands. That's it. Thank you.
What the hell was that?
Well, that's
first of all, I've never heard of that gun, but regardless, like.
Well, that guy right there, you're good. That's why, we do a show together. This is why we're best friends. This is an 83-year-old retired professor, local historian, Wesley Arnold. He sparked this federal probe after joking about shooting President Trump with a camera lens during a Michigan City Council meeting. So he was talking about taking pictures. I mean, of course, he knew what he was doing, right?
Wow, he trolled us. He baited us a little there.
He did. He bought that telephoto camera lens, the ATL 36X, to photograph distant objects like Trump. He wanted to get a headshot with it.
Brilliant.
Yes, very good.
Well, do we have any follow-up? Because certainly he got a knock on the door from the Secret Service still, regardless, right?
February 25, Secret Service searched the home for 1 hour, questioned him, did remove a gun that was at his house.
Why?
Arnold said, I had no intent to shoot anyone except with the telephoto lens. This is harmless old man freedom of speech stuff. So, yeah, no charges have been filed as of today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was a story that happened a few weeks ago that I was encouraged not to get into, but I think I'll get into it anyways.
Please.
A guy was running for some elected official, I want to say state attorney general in Ohio, but either way, it was some Ohio state election, and the election's still coming up. But he put out a campaign video saying that I'm going to kill Donald Trump. And he went on to explain that I will prosecute him for crimes that are worthy of capital punishment. So, going to kill him by prosecuting him, capital punishment crimes. He will be executed if you elect me to this position.
A little wordplay.
Yeah. And it went on to explain what he meant, that it was not just going to be like murder, that he was going to try him and convict him for capital punishment worthy crimes.
Yeah.
And, I know it's a tricky topic whenever you say the words that I just said, but I haven't heard any follow-up on that whatsoever. I saw a bunch of MAGA freaking out the day of, but I haven't heard anything come of it since then. And I would think that would actually be something people would vote for. And I'm not being a dick about that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people want to see Trump prosecuted for his crimes.
Yeah, accountability is what we all want to see.
Yes, and whether it is, the illegal extrajudicial killings happening in the waters off of Venezuela or ICE, these, you can make the case very easily that Trump has murdered people.
Yeah.
And murder is generally a capital crime. And, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But, there's been no real follow-up on that.
I wonder if he's still around, dude. We haven't even, have we heard from him?
He may have been disappeared as well, but yeah. So I don't know. Nick and I coming from radio, we were preached eons ago. Like if a caller ever says something threatening towards the president, like dump them immediately. You cannot threaten the life of the president.
No.
But what that guy did, I'm going to shoot him in the head with a camera. That's
I'm
interesting.
gonna take a photo.
An attorney saying, if you elect me to the statewide position, I will prosecute him from capital crimes. Like, those aren't threats of murder. Those are They're a clever wordplay, I guess, but they're okay.
Yeah, one may say, like, oh, my 83-year-old grandpa Wesley Arnold has always been a trickster, you know. Like,
right.
So,
kudos.
Yeah,
Kudos
it's
to
interesting. Yeah, that's funny. Legally, what a novel idea. Yeah, this is how liberals legally do things, okay?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have you want to throw up before we leave?
Sure. I do need to lose a few pounds. Not encouraging anorexia, but yes.
All right. Well, this is a little clip of some of the cabinet, Trump cabinet, telling you their fondest memories of Donald Trump. And I just thought, like, wow.
I wish
yes, you're right. I got done watching this and I was just like, those are the things you pulled. Those are your best memories. See what you think here, dude.
One of my funniest memories of now President Trump was about 15 years ago, and I went to visit him at one of his golf clubs, and they said, oh, he's in the lobby. I went in the lobby, and I couldn't find him, and then I hear, Pam, Pam, and he is on top of a ladder himself, hanging an oil painting of a golf portrait in one of his resorts.
Wow.
And that is the man's attention to detail.
I remember last year, there's some veterans who had been wounded, who'd taken grievous injury for our country, came to visit him. But one thing stuck out of my mind is some of them had prosthetic devices, and they came in and actually were taking those prosthetic devices, and the president would actually sign them. You could see in his eyes how much he cared and how much he appreciated what these veterans had done for this country.
I think my most exhilarating memory of the president is when I did the endorsement of him at the Turning Point Conference in Arizona in the middle of our campaigns. And then I just, for humor, it was when he took me hostage on his airplane and tried to make me eat a Big Mac.
That's your most exhilarating memory of the president?
And then I snorted coke off his ass crack.
So, wow, dude, why would you even put this video out that these are the greatest memories with this man?
I mean, this is just more like North Korean propaganda praising our dear leader, but these are some memories. Like,
right.
First of all, I'd be willing to bet whatever portrait Trump was hanging at Mar-a-Lago or whatever was probably of himself.
You think? Yeah. Or a Big Mac, you know, or something. Yeah.
He tried to get me to eat a Big Mac. What?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
It is a clown show. And the problem is, you know, in Trump's first term, every time he fired somebody, everyone kind of made fun of him for hiring that person in the first place. Yeah. And that's why we haven't seen anyone get fired so far, because he does not want to admit defeat by having to fire them, no matter how egregious, whether it's leaking confidential information, top secret war plans, or fucking murdering people. He's not going to fire them because that would make him look bad.
Just read an article on this earlier this week, dude. You're right on the money. I mean, that's exactly why he hasn't fired anyone from Hegseth to Kristi Noem to Pam Bondi. None of these people, because, yeah, he wants to look like, yeah, I made all these decisions on purpose. I knew how they would act, and, yeah, that's how they're acting.
I read an article today saying that the fact that Kristi Noem killed her dog worked in her favor to get the position at the head of ICE. Because Trump figured, well, if she's shooting her own dog, she must have no soul. So running ICE would be the perfect job for her.
He was right.
Like, in what universe does murdering a fucking puppy get you a job, not get you disqualified from it?
Yeah, that is, well, this one right here. You answered your own question.
Exactly. As this person says, he cares so much about prosthetics, he's cutting back funding for these in Medicaid.
Yes, he is. And all the people of Minneapolis now are, you know, they're going to be held accountable for all this fraud going on. They're going to cut Medicaid, and people are going to be in a lot of trouble if Mr. Walz doesn't get his shit right.
Yeah. MS Jam says a portrait of him and his daughter. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but that's the problem. Like Conan was saying, this is the world we're living in, where I can't tell if things are humor or satire anymore because it's all completely plausible.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yes.
Well, have a good weekend, dude. You know, I mean, it's not depressing at all. This is our time with the weekend upon us to go in and, yeah, take a little break. But a reminder to stay in the fight because, well, there's a lot at stake here, ladies and gentlemen.
It is very true. All of this is good reason to check out a society. So, you know, stop paying attention to the news. But We cannot. And I will tell you, the news cycle wears on me selectively. I have been at news fatigue, and I know I do it a lot more than the average person, but it is grating. It is wearing. But that's the goal. That's why they overwhelm the news cycle.
Yeah.
So please keep paying attention and allow, like Nick and I always say, like, we watch some of these things so that you don't have to. So we pass along what you need to know. So keep tuning into us. The Really American podcast happening on the platform right now. Same thing. It's great content. It's us hosts putting ourselves through this garbage so that we can dilute it down to what you guys need to know. So support it all.
Yeah, we appreciate you tuning into the podcast. And like Steve mentioned, a lot of great content and material you can trust on the Really American platform. So yeah, tune in and get your news here. We'll tell you what you need to know. And hey, when you listen to the show live, you have a chance to tell us some of the stuff we may have missed because there's just too much out there.
Yeah, indeed. Go to thevocalminority.net if you want to email us directly. Otherwise, comment away and share all this, please. Seriously.
And have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.